He has the bag on.
You know why you're under arrest?
They're seeing all the crappy ends of homelessness.
You're kind of putting Band-Aids over bullet holes.
I'm still out here.
Some of the people that were alive last year have passed away.
We don't need the bullshit and drama. We're already suffering enough.
Okay, what are we supposed to do? Where do we turn?
It's the worst social issue that we're going to face in our lifetime, and it's not going to get any better, and that's what scares me.
Belleville, Ontario. Last time we were here, the city was under a state of emergency. It still is, but the toxic batch of drugs that had dozens of people overdosing in a matter of hours, that's gone. The number of people, though, living on the streets and the problems that go with that has only gone up. And despite millions of dollars being put into a potential solution, the people at the heart of this crisis say things have only gone from bad to worse. The big change downtown, a newly built community policing hub, and the same officer who showed us just how bad things had gotten last time. Hey, Aaron.
Hey,
how's it going, man? Good. My producer Ryan and I check out downtown. Businesses here used to complain about overdoses, break-ins, and campouts. Now they've got a face to turn to, but it's nowhere near the magic pill the city promised more than a year ago.
If the root causes of the issues aren't being addressed, things like homelessness, things like addiction and mental health, I mean, you can throw some mental health workers out on the street, you can throw cops out on the road to try and address these things, but the bottom line is you're kind of putting Band-Aids over bullet holes. Kind of becomes a lot of just, like I said, whack-a-mole, where you're just going from encampment to encampment, giving people notice, moving people along.
Police, frontline workers, social services agencies, patching up holes, checking in on people, and sometimes having to be the ones that kick them out.
Hey.
Hello, is it please?
You guys good in there or what?
That's Mel.
So you've been quiet, haven't got any complaints from the public, but the property owner called.
Okay.
We met her on our last visit here. Did not expect to see her again.
I just woke up, so.
Sorry to be your harsh wake-up call. Last year, about 160 people in this region were homeless. Now, there are almost 300. Have they gotten better or worse?
No, they've gotten worse. For sure they've gotten worse. We can't find a place to stay anywhere. Like it doesn't matter how, like I've moved, this will be the 4th time in less than 6 weeks. Like, and I have like usually 8 to 10 people with me. Like that are just misfits or people that, you know, need someone to have a little bit of order in their life. There's no place for us to go to the bathroom out here. Yeah. Like nobody puts up, like I asked them to put in outhouses.
So where do you go?
People, we're not allowed to go into businesses, so people find spots. Like that's why people don't want us here, is because they're seeing all the crappy ends of homelessness. One of the most surprising things that we found when we first got here, within the first few hours, we ran into the same people that we had long conversations with last time we were here. And in the interim, they told us they found housing, couldn't keep it, and now they're right back where they started.
I did have a place to stay at one point, and due to just unforeseen circumstances, I'm right back out on the street because, you know, you want to go out, you want to still help your friends and not move them in, but, you know, bring them in, let them have a shower, things like that. And some people just flip out.
Aaron's seen it play out firsthand. One person gets a place, friends with addictions move in, then in come the dealers with the guns and the drugs.
Yeah, of course you're gonna get the eviction notice posted on your door. Yeah. No one wants that nonsense next to them.
And so the same people end up back on the streets.
Hey, how are ya? Brian, I think you talked to Brian last time you were in town.
Brian, yeah, how are you? Hey, good to see you, man. Brian is surviving. What happened to your hand? I didn't hear.
I was trying to keep warm outside one night and I had a blowtorch going. I knocked it over and I wasn't paying attention and the flame hit my hand and burnt it.
He did get his own place for a short while, and then he ended up back on the street again. And in all that time since our last visit, life just keeps happening.
My girlfriend, she's pregnant, so...
Oh, wow. Okay. Here in Belleville?
Yeah.
Okay, how are you handling that?
I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm kind of bummed out because, well, here I am on the streets, trying to push harder than ever to get a place and get work and everything again.
How's she holding up?
Stressed, because, like, she's got a place to lay her head at night. Oh. But I'm still out here, and we just want to get a place together and start settling down.
Pregnancy. With or without a place to stay, on or off drugs, it happens. And it was a theme that kept coming up.
Being out here, every single one of us has one of these stories.
Olivia's story, pregnant at a young age, struggling with trauma, the help she got, it didn't work.
It ended up causing me to put my kids in temporary care to send them with their father, and it's been 2 years. And the whole picture perfect of, being at home with your kids is gone for me, and I won't get that back ever the way I should have been able to have it, because the resources weren't there when I started screaming out for help.
Everyone here feels like they're being pushed to the margins with no way out.
You ask any of the resources, whether it's the police, the people that work here, the community outreach team, the city, every single one of them, and says, if we can't be here, then where do we go? And their answer is, I don't know.
The plan last year was to have a 24/7 drop-in center up and running by now. This is how we left it, and this is how we found it. The city spent $3 million to buy and fix the building, but it wasn't structurally sound. So now the price tag is up to $5 million from the city and another $3.5 million from Health Canada. The mayor hopes it'll be up and running before 2026. So in the meantime, there's this.
So this is the new hub.
A temporary drop-in center called The Bridge.
Hey, thanks so much for doing this. Really
Ashley Vader runs the place. It's running on provincial funding, tapping into a purse of $6.3 million a year for the next 3 years.
We're doing what we can with that money, and it sounds like a lot when you really think about it, but when you are trying to support a rotation of 300 people, it's not a lot.
This place is only open during the day, and if people are not inside, they have to be completely off the property.
The unfortunate piece of it is that they end up in people's faces.
I've had open my door and there's someone that's on drugs or something like that, basically acting irate, screaming and shouting. You ask them to move and they'll scream at you like, I'll stab you or something like that.
I was walking my dog. She came up to me and she said, you look like an effing fascist. And then she said, I should punch your face in. I should smash your face in. I'm going to kill you.
How does that whole situation you described leave you feeling?
Frightened, vulnerable, scared, not heard by City Hall. They're saying it's not our problem, it's the government's problem. Then they'll say it's the police problem. Then the police will say it's the city's problem. Okay, what are we supposed to do?
These are all questions that end up right on the mayor's doorstep.
What do you say to people who have that?
So what do you do with them? Where do you have a drop-in? Where do you have a shelter? Where do you have a warming center? Do you say we're not going to have a warming center? Is that humane to say that you're going to stay out in the winter? And where do you feed them? Or a drop-in center? You have to have that in your community with that many people. If you shut that all down, then where does that put them? They're not going to move out of town. That's people that are living here. The people that have born and raised here are on the streets.
Where does responsibility lie for the issues that your town has seen?
It goes back to the province again. When you look at, what are the issues? It's mental health, which is totally provincial. It's housing, and it's homelessness, and that's all under the provincial mandate.
You may have just interrupted a hand-to-hand or a deal.
But on Belleville streets, it comes down to compassion and enforcement. Aaron's policing instincts are always on high alert.
Right now, I'm watching this car that's coming up. So you see this guy here, he's whistling. He's letting everyone know police are in the area.
Ryan and I stop to talk to everyone who will speak to us.
We're told you can't sit here, you can't sit there, you can't sit
But this time, it feels different. Behind our camera, Aaron's having an intense conversation with his partner. He just spotted a red flag.
Okay. I'll take the bag.
No.
Yeah.
Why? No, it is her. My bag. Fly back. You're not. Excuse me. It is her bag.
She has the bag on.
Okay, well,
it's her bag.
Okay, whatever.
I will be taking her property with her.
Are you being serious? Just tell me from
Yeah, you are. It's an endorsed warrant, so it's just for failed attempt for prints. We're gonna get you in there. You know why you're under arrest? So that's how things happen, right? You're walking the beat, and then next thing you know, you see someone has a what's seen as a minor warrant. And then once you get to, searching people, you end up finding quantities of drugs. In this case, there was a significant amount of some coke, some fentanyl, and some crack. 1/10 of a gram of fentanyl is like sort of a normal amount to use. There was just over 30 grams of fentanyl there. So a considerable considerable amount.
How much of a dent do you think you made on the supply of fentanyl here in town?
I maybe interrupted half a day's worth of use, in that general vicinity or in that general area. Where there is a desire for drugs, there will be a supplier.
So why keep doing it?
It's amazing to see people turn their lives around. It's not super common we're getting it anymore, I would say, but it's the, 0.5%. That's what keeps you going.
And in Aaron's case, a really personal connection.
I had a brother who passed away as a result of some complications from drug use. This job does have a place in my heart. Oh man.
I'm so sorry, man. Aaron didn't want to dwell on that too much, but he knows it's about more than just him. Everyone's out there looking for answers, and from where he stands, it's about a lot more than just a drop-in center. It's about systems that are broken, healthcare, justice, and bail. And until those are fixed, he says guys like him are just going to be out there patching up the holes. Omar Dabaghi-Pacheco, CBC News.